Look inside there. There's baffles inside of these coolant tanks. They're not as basic as the structure seems. So next time you have one of these, take a look inside and you'll see some holes and different pockets that lead to each other. There you can see another one in there. See, there's one and two. If your reservoir is original, it might be pretty tight on the tabs, so when you come to pull up, you might cut the back of your hand on the fender, so make sure to wear gloves. Loosening the reservoir first allows you better access to that clamp down there. Ideally, you should be changing all these hoses, but if you're not, just a small pick will help you get the old hoses off. Okay, so these hoses are really old and seized in there. If you pull too much from out here, you're going to stress this rubber and you can crack and tear it and make it more prone to premature failure. So the really bad part about this is the tabs on here. They don't allow you to cleanly run the pick through the hose, so you have to be really careful with this when you do it. Mine are in there really tight. I'm going to use a bigger pick now. Make sure not to stab the actual hose line, okay? Point your pick down a little bit. Now that you've worked with the pick, slowly going over the ridges, keep the pick inside and try again. This one needs more working. Be gentle while you're doing this. Alright, so those pullbacks are a bit violent. Again, make sure to use gloves if yours are quite seized like mine. Now we're going to move on to the one at the back. So for the purposes of the camera, I'm holding my hand further up, but you'll have more control if you hold the pick further down. I won't be able to get the shot if I hold it tight. So work the pick around once, twice, then keep the pick inside and then pull. That'll give you a better chance of getting it off. For this one, you can actually get the reservoir in a position where you can use the reservoir to pull out to help you possibly. But again, be careful not to stretch the hose too much. If this is happening, then you have to get your hand in there and pull the hose off. Don't let this be too much of a cheat. So a little twist is what did it there, with the pick inside. And in the next video, we'll go more in depth on this old coolant reservoir and the experiments we're going to do on it to hopefully reduce the chances of coolant failures causing damage to the car. So this is from taking off the coolant reservoir right now, but in the previous past overheat video, this is what I was saying. When the car overheated in the parking lot and I looked under the reservoir, there was dripping coolant coming onto this engine mount metal piece and dripping underneath the car, and then it stopped right away. So only 2 dinner spoons of coolant about, but we'll inspect the other one later. But this is what I was talking about to look out for if your car has the fan overheating issue. This could happen to you. So when you're doing this job, you'll see, but those notches that I said annoy you when you're running the pick around it, if you're not changing the hoses to silicone, you're also going to have to line up all those tabs with the little cuts in the coolant hoses. This goes for the one at the back and the two at the front. So the little line at the top is the one that touches the inside of the hose, and the rest, the hose just comes up to them and then stops. Don't keep forcing it in. Also watch out that your clamp doesn't slide all the way down when you're doing all these, so that you don't have to dig down there and find it. Okay, so these clamps actually have a unlock feature. You might not be able to see it, but mine is in the unlocked position right now, so you could bring it all the way over. You're going to have to pry this up in order to re-engage the locking mechanism, if it locks up on you like this in the open position. This can become annoying quite quickly, so just have some patience. And the hose could slide out when you bring the clamp up and down, so make sure you check these things as you're working. You see, now we're all lined up again. It had slid out a bit and off of its tab. I won't be able to get this in film, but you can see, have it in all the way, the top little tab, the other one's aligned. Carefully bring your hose clamp back. Okay, so I got this clamp on. Most of you will be using needle nose pliers. Because of the thin ends, it will try to jump out on you a few times. Just be patient and you will get it on the right spot. And this one is done. We got this one in. Just make sure your hose is aligned properly. Now before we clip this in, we're going to put the two front hoses on. Just watch out that you don't lose your clamps. Just keep them in the center here. They won't go too far anyways. Okay, so you can see that tab there. That does not align upwards. It aligns to the right side of the coolant reservoir. That's where the longer piece of plastic is. You see where the long piece of plastic is? It's on the outside. For the other one, it's going to be this one. Then the rest of the hose is going to rest on this piece here. So tab on the long one, hose resting on the short one. Okay, tab turned towards the passenger door for the second hose. Wiggle it around a little bit. Don't go too far in. Try to get it right in the same spot that the hoses clamps were originally. Now just line up the two tabs and push straight down. There is a little wire loom there. The coolant hose eventually goes past that, so don't worry about that being in the way. You'll see it when you're doing the job. Now in terms of putting pressure down, you want it to be from the back and from this side here, because that's where the tabs are. If you push here, it's just going to fall inwards and it's not going to go on those two stiff tabs nicely. Okay, so for me the back one went in really smooth. The front one's giving me a bit of difficulty. It's easy to think that it's fully in, but it's not, because it's going to be level. So make sure to visually check inside to see if that plastic tab has gone fully in on the metal inside there. Okay, so the back one is fully in. I'm not going to take it back out because I did do the even force thing at the beginning and it didn't push them both in. Again, this is just a garbage design from Ford and Volvo back in the day. I don't want to put too much pressure on any of this plastic to not cause any cracks. So I'm going to put the butt of a screwdriver on here and I'm going to give it one hammer tap and it's going to go into its respective holder. So this is what I'm going to use. So there you have it. It has gone fully in. So you're going to see just a little bit of the metal exposed, just like the backside. So those two little hits did it. They didn't crack anything. but don't put too much awkward pressure on it with your hand. Do this lightly, you'll be just fine. Alright, so now our new coolant reservoir is secure and installed properly. If you have a new cap, that's best. If yours isn't leaking like mine, just transfer it over to the new one. Make sure to check the seal for any possible damage, but if you haven't had a leaking cap, you should be just fine. Alright, so I wish I had done this before. I might be able to use some of the clips from the previous video, but here on the old one, we'll look at all this in more depth later, but this is not a stress crack, okay, that's happened over time. The new one has this exact same shape on the surface on the outside. So you'll see this on yours too, but we'll go more in depth on this when we get there. But I compared the two. I didn't put any awkward force here. They have the exact same outside line shape of a little something that looks like a crack. I don't know why they have this, but it is there. And you'll find it on yours too, most likely. As you can see around that tube, there are these seemingly hairline cracks, but for some reason they've put this in the design. You can see it circles around that tube that comes out, and then it goes straight up. There's a bunch of these on here, and they are stock, okay? They're on the original one too. It's not a product of having happened over time. That Z-shaped one in the middle of your screen is the best sign that shows that these are stock. Okay, nothing cracks that perfectly like that. See how it comes out horizontal? It goes down about a ½ centimeter and then it comes back to the right straight. This is the one defining proof of this long crack that it is not a crack and that these are for some reason planned in the building of this component for this car. It has a locking tab. Just make sure to use the OEM reservoir so that your cap works. Don't use cheap aftermarket stuff on the cooling systems for these cars, because these Volvos are known to get to the end of their life because of coolant issues. So really pay attention to this kind of stuff. So there you have it. That's a quick basic job, but I showed you all the small things that even in basic jobs sometimes go wrong in case it happens to you working in cold weather on an oiled mileage car. So good luck to all of you.